The Lewis dot that we're doing today is just a review of what we did last week, because we did some of these already. Remember, to get your Lewis dot, you're going with the valence. So you're getting your S plus your P. Unplug. Everything needs to be off. Okay? All right. Okay, so when you look at your periodic table, this page over here, okay, you're going to give me the Lewis dot structure right there on the actual page. Okay? Now go to the other. If I have PB, okay, let's do that a little darker. If I have PB, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this Lewis dot structure is going to help you put 2 or 3 elements together. We're going to start doing the bonding. Okay, and this is what's going to tell you how many elements do you need for, let's say I have chlorine, how many can actually react with this lead. Okay, but you need to know how to do the Lewis dot structure. Do we need another example on the Lewis dot structure? I know we already went over this last week. Another one?
Oh, man.
Yes? Okay, let's go ahead and just do F6. So SE would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it. That's what you're going to do. Remember that this part over here. This part is your nonmetals. Up here you have your nonmetals. And over here on this lower part, you have your metals. Okay, you're going to need this to identify the ionic and covalent bonds. But for the Lewis dot structure, you can just go right here. So let's do something like, let's do PB. PB is right here. Okay, remember you're going to get your S's plus your P's, right? Okay, so you're going to count these S's. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. So how many dots do I have? What's my valence for PB?
4.
Yep. So let's say if you have something like SE is right here. How many, what's my valence for SE? Remember, you're going to start with the S section. Yep, you're going to go from the S section and then skip to the P section. And yes, you're the one where it's everything over here is a non-metal. Everything else is a metal. So give me a metal, anything. Give me something. If it's here, it's a non-metal. If the element is over here on this side, it's a metal. And that's how you're going to identify that element to help you figure out what type of bond it is. Okay? Do we need to do another example? Let's do one more. Let's just do one more. Just to make sure. The type of bond, you're going to use your periodic table for that. And there's 3 different types of bonds you can have. You can have ionic, you can have covalent, you can have metallic bonds. But for today we're going to do ionic. And I'll give you guys the definitions in a little bit. But an ionic bond is a metal and a non-metal. Okay, so let's look at the periodic table. Aluminum. Okay, so if we have aluminum and then we have oxygen, aluminum is a metal, oxygen is a non-metal. This is an ionic bond. Okay, I'll show you how to do the numbers later. All right, but what you have to look at is what type of element is that? It's on the metal side, and then oxygen is on the non-metal side. That's how you know it's an ionic bond. Okay? All right, so now let's look at, that's going to tell us, we have covalent bond. A covalent bond is a non-metal with a non-metal. Okay? So pick a non-metal up there. Let's see. Okay, a C, yes. Carbon is a non-metal. Oxygen's also a non-metal. Yes, you can have like a carbon and a chlorine as well, like 4 chlorines. Both of those are non-metals. That's a covalent bond, okay? These are going to share electrons, and I'm going to show you how to do that bonding. But first, you need to identify whether it's ionic or covalent. That way you know if it's going to share or if it's going to transfer, all right? Now, have both? Yes. If I have something like this polyatomic ion is basically a covalent bond. And then the calcium is a plus charge. This is a minus charge. That's a metal and not necessarily a non-metal, but a covalent bond. So this is both. So if you have more than 2 elements, it's going to be both. Okay? So your objective today is to identify what type of bond that is. Is it an ionic bond? Is it a covalent bond? Or is it both? And that's it. So you're just going to look at the periodic table. I know the copy machine went kind of, I don't know what happened there. Just ignore the stuff that's sideways. Okay. Let's do something like, let me give you something mixed up. Okay, what kind of bond is this? Na and I. What kind of bond is that? Na is what type of element? Is it a metal or is it a non-metal?
Non-metal.
It's a what? It's a metal.
It's a Eddie.
Okay, so this is a metal.
Mexico.
Iodine
Is
is
that sodium is?
non-metal. Okay, let's not be making comments. Non-metal. So it's an ionic bond. Okay, very good. Okay, let's see. Let's do something like, okay, what kind of bond is that? MgSO4. It's going to be both. Very good. Okay. All right, let's do something like, okay, I have carbon Br3. It's going to be covalent because I have a non-metal and a non-metal. That's a covalent bond. Okay, very good. Okay, good deal. All right, you guys are still a little asleep right now. All right, I'm going to leave this posted just in case.